the tunnels, and of course, Nook's in the lead now, and I think a pause being called, I would imagine, by No Chance to try and figure out what the hell just went wrong, because they kind of had the jump on the B players. There was very little utility to hold them off, but just that one player at the front not checking his angles allows for Kikert to come in and pick up 2, pretty much securing things, I would have said there and then.
Yeah, this is really going to start to be now quite a devastating half if all continues to go this way, right? I mean, it's 7-3 right now. The money on No Chance, if I believe so, it's not exactly a hugely positive situation, right? So, you know, we're likely to see this continuing just to lean towards Avant game.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. They have really long tactical pauses. We have been here for a wee while at this point. But it looks like they are going to start to buy back up into things, so I suppose they do kind of have the money. It's a little bit difficult on this here UI. You have to keep track fairly readily because it only comes up at the start of the round. There we go. We will see a little bit of what they've got available. So not a great deal. I think as Radafaction got an AK dropped across that he's waiting for. So
it's workable,
rifles,
but it is pretty sketchy. They
Yeah.
got a lot of utility, which is definitely the big thing for me, and being able to get those AKs up with the
Tanuki, maybe a spawn-based play, of course. But an opener nonetheless for No Chance. They'll be happy to walk away with that. And now the CTs have got to try and readjust. Buster really wants to push into tunnels, but would be an unwise decision most likely. This double up setup going to be tough to get around Jame. So very lucky. Nuki's kind of holding mid in a bit of an off angle. Might just catch someone off guard later on in the round.
That's a funky Molotov camera. Follows it into mid doors, of course. Yeah, we're going to start to see some movement through up towards short now as the AWP leads that charge. Buster just going to be spotting to see where they can discover anything that's going on. Jame, of course, just going to be playing from car, spotting the corner cross. As Crism just waits patiently on the site for the peaks to come through. Jame landing that first shot is critical. You hate to miss that. If you do, things start to become a little bit tough to manage on the site itself. If you land that first, it gives Crism a bit more room to swing now. You can throw the flash behind him, keep on re-peeking as well. He's got Quicker supporting him from CT. No Chance are just dropping like flies.
Oh, beautiful shot from Nuki there, to be fair. Like you say, there's only him left as the rest of the boys have all fallen pretty damn quickly, and obviously there's no time at the end there, so not really anything that Nuki can do. He does land some nice shots, but again, No Chance. I think one of their big issues is kind of lacking in confidence in places. They started off with an advantage there, Flakes, and seemingly not able to work it. So I think they just take a little bit too long to figure out what it is that they want to do, and then they just end up running into a site panicked, if that makes sense, with about 20, 30 seconds left, and it's not really the ideal way to play things.
Definitely not, especially at this scoreline. Things maybe will go from bad to worse now. It's just a lot of pistols in play. They do have that singular AWP trying to see if they can hard carry them through the round.
Kikert going to peek out. Oh, the perfect time, but unfortunately no one was blinded up or anything, so he ends up being an easy pickup there. 5 on 4. They really don't want to go for this. This is the worst bomb site to lose, for sure. All 5 players left alive on that T side. In on the B bomb site. Very little information to work off of. Yeah, they're just going to go back and save. Play it super safe. The money not quite solid for Avangard. And they're happy to let a round go by the wayside. So No Chance will be gifted a fourth somewhat. Just a tiny misstep from Kika will end up securing the win for No Chance. Very lucky indeed to kind of get away with that one, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's a complete steal, to be honest. Really surprising they were able to make that one work, but ever so valuable too. Brings it, of course, up to 8-4 now. No Chance. Half the way there. Looking now for 7, of course. A perfect half time for them, given the 8 rounds that Avangard have. What do you think? Do you think they're really going to be able to get the 7? I don't think my confidence is really there, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they can maybe compete for this 5th. But if they lose this, I would be pretty confident in saying it's going to go 11-4.
Yeah, I think so. They could maybe, fight back for 1, but Avangar have just looked so very clean on this CT side, honestly. And I think No Chance just giving them a bit too much room to work with as well. It's not all about Avangar dominating. There is a little bit of kind of nervousness, it seems, from No Chance in places. Maybe a bit more expectation on them here today, having shown themselves over the past week. But like I said, previous to that, not the best of starts for this lineup, considering the mix of experience and firepower. You know, Frozen, for a long time in that Ecstatus lineup, was, you know, kind of in a similar position as Zywoo. Like, oh, he's got this great potential. He's going to pop off at any moment. You know, this next tournament, he's going to really show what he's got. But he just kind of, by the looks of things, ended up being a little bit more of an onliner, as they say. It's certainly a very good one, but still never really capitalizing on that potential. Either way, the A hit going to be coming on through, and they're distracted at long, so therefore up short come the rest of the boys, and they will get control. So their fifth comes in, Flakes, as Avangar once again going to go back for the save.
Yeah, they'll keep them on the right road moving forward. Looks like they are going to be able to get away with everything as well.
Yeah, not all bad, especially that AWP being saved is obviously very important. Very good stuff. Buster. Maybe drop it across to James. I know that they've both been playing with it, but it mainly is James' kind of weapon, and no offense to Buster. He is only on 3 frags, but then also 3 deaths, so it's kind of not seeing very much action. The life of a Bianca, I suppose, especially when the T's are continually going A pretty much every single round, it seems. But we'll see here. They've got to buy back into this one. They do have the money for another double AWP setup. I think they've definitely got a feel for these wallbangs in at middle. But interesting, again, seeing Nuki on the AWP. It's generally not the way that the team dynamic works, so it seems to be something that they've switched up kind of mid-game, which, again, is not really going to help No Chance to be consistent, in all honesty, but we'll see. Another long take comes in. Again, Avangar happy to give it to them. I think at this point, Avangar need to stop any more rounds coming in for No Chance. The 5 is the maximum they can allow them, because otherwise No Chance will be fairly comfortable going into their CT side if they pick up any more than this.
Just so you folks are aware, we are fully working on the slight freezing issue going on right now. There are a couple of routing issues in play, so do bear with us. The sound though should be all good too. Try not to worry about that one too much. Nonetheless, 8-5, 40 seconds on the clock. Smoke will go down towards short. Crescent drops an A, but that commits him. It means he can no longer fall back. He has to get a kill, do what he can, but those eventually he will have to fall. There is no way for him to possibly survive there. Cricket, though, comes in right from behind. The smoke is going to be there. Runs on through, finds himself one. May have been a little bit early, but it looks like Fitch has got me covered anyway. That's a double kill for him. 20 seconds remain. Nuki all alone. He's on a 1v4. This is done.
Yeah, there it comes back around. Avangar continue with their domination. A bit of a miscommunication in behind, but it was perfect timing from Kika, it has to be said. He runs through that smoke, obviously picks up one. But then they're kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. They've got Fitch directly in front of them, Kika in at the side, and it just makes everything very awkward to deal with. And again, panic sets in for No Chance. And unfortunately, they do not perform well when panicked, it appears. So they will have money to buy up into this final round. It's a sketchy one again, as you would say, but workable. Certainly if Radifaction's able to open up like that, Buster going to fall. That's one of the AWPs taken down, and it's a distraction play on B, as the majority of the players looking to go A once again here. So we'll see what Radifaction can do on this lurk.
Already Jamie will put in the work, finds one before he falls. Frozen with a sick headshot on towards Grizz, and that is nasty. Meanwhile, it will just be quicker and Fitch now to try and bring this one back. Fish is in towards CT, which means Frozen has his number. They'll be watching him like a hawk in case he does decide to walk on up. That CT smoke, of course, is a little deeper, but he can still be seen by Frozen, who's just peeping out atop those boxes.
Yeah, looks like they will get their 6th then, by the looks of things. Kika gonna have to fight here, obviously. Can't really save. Does take down Radafaction pretty quickly, but Makalele will trade him back easily enough. And a 6th round for No Chance. It's not all bad, considering it was a fairly one-sided start from the CTs. I'd say that it is a good recovery from them. But the way that Jame and Kika have been performing on this CT side so far, I think Dust 2 being a very individually based map, and now we're going into the T side for them, I think that those two players, if they continue this form, could quite easily just take the game by the tail. And
Loot Bet, made for live betting.
I'm guessing you might have forgot a little bit about a casual halftime break there, Scrooge.
indeed, I think I cut off at a good moment though.
Good moment. Nice save.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right, but I did have a bit more to say. But obviously, got to get into the second half now, as things will quickly get back underway. We'll see what No Chance have got on their CT side.
Yeah, I mean, overall, right, the main thing is that they got themselves up to 6 rounds. They gave themselves a competitive platform for the second half. It could have been a whole lot worse. I mean, what we saw very early on was quite poor, if I'm honest. If I was to say to you at 6 or 7 rounds into the half, maybe even at the 8th or 9th round point in the half, you would have been pretty concerned that we could have been seeing 11-4, 12-3. So it's nice to see that 9-6 has taken hold, and they can really try and do something here. This pistol definitely will play a part, and if they can take this pistol, they can look to equalize 9-9. They can really make this a hard-fought battle in map number 1.
All depends on how this pistol goes, I suppose. Still doesn't give you as much power as it used to, as much breathing room as it used to, but still pretty damn effective. Makalele holding the crack angle here at middle. Savvy to the fact that they could go for the crouch peek, so it's well read, but unfortunately they're not heavily showing their heads, so it's very difficult to, of course, land the headshots without a head. Makalele, though, will receive one himself. Left on 9 HP as Buster walks in. They surely have spotted each other here. The 1 versus 1 Mexican standoff. Great flash comes in. It doesn't blind him, but Makalele will find the shot nonetheless. Buster going to fall a 5-on-4 in favor of No Chance. That's certainly the opening that they were looking for.
These USPs, though, they can be lethal. Fitch will be struck down. We're going to have action on the back of the site now, just tap it on away, but Chris and Fitch, they seem to just have everyone's number. Waltzing up onto the site, getting frag after frag. Avantgarde just dropping them dead on this A site as the site is taken. The bomber's gone down. I don't really see a retake happening here for No Chance anytime soon.
Oh, and that smoke as well. Bit sad. I'm going to try and make their way in. I think there's maybe a kit somewhere around, but at this point, Flakes, yeah, I think you raise a good point. It's not really looking too good for them. Nice Molotov to go in, but they're just not hitting the shots at this point. Not really a great deal of time, and I think it should be the pistol going to Avantgarde quite easily.
Yeah, simple 10th round, no real complaints there. Even 3 players alive at the end shows just how strong the round was as well. Those entries were just sort of so critical for them. They were able to collect on that A site so quickly.
Will be the hard eco coming in. Couple of flashes for Crystal and Nucky with the P250. But yeah, again, I mean, No Chance start off with an advantage, but I think they just too easily allow the gap to close with those Glocks. And then the issue becomes, USP, you got to hit the headshots most of the time, whereas Glocks, you can get away with the body spam a little bit more readily, especially if you're a train, 4 or 5 players moving in together can easily devastate a site, like I say, if they close the gap. So making things perhaps a bit too easy to recover it back there. No Chance. Looking good in places, but messy in others.
going to see the Mac-10 make some money on short of Buster. Finds the header around a fashion, a bit of a burst fire down top those boxes. Looks like he'll continue his pusher as well as Rain of Terror upon the A site as he just charges on over. Now looks to clear out ramp as well. Spots him, which is crucial information, but he just holds down the trigger. It's just kill after kill, mowing him dead, making some money. Avangard find themselves an easy 11th.
We'll see now, though, coming into the buy round, no chance ecoing things out so that they could pull this strong buyout as quick as possible. Orp in the hands of Makalele, it's glass cannon, but can never be written off. There's an Orp and a Scout in play for the T side, meanwhile. As Eco actually going to get rid of that Scout, so it's kind of just for the early tags if they were to come through. Great angle from Radofaction, as I think he was fast cattered, as they say. Unfortunately for him, no one really going to be coming his way. Fitch set up in the lower tunnels, bit of help from Buster as well. Everybody else just sat outside long, waiting for some aggression. With only 6 rounds and already going down a few more into this second half. No chance, need these initial frags and perhaps getting a bit desperate. We'll see, though, the CT side, the rifles just come out. Gives us a bit of a feel about how things are going to go for the rest of the half.
Once again, the slow build-up play towards short, very reminiscent of what we saw in the first half as well, but hopefully this will work out a lot more for Avangard than it did for No Chance, as the smoke will come down, allowing them to cross out deeper in towards Plat now as Fitch takes the walk on over. Nice little smoke to cover them from Car as well. That's pretty crafty, to be honest. Makalele can't see a thing. Quicker to take the duel on towards short. That's a quick frag on towards Radofaction as well. Beautifully done. Buster just going to hold CT. No Chance have really zero opportunity to push here. The only time they can is on short, and they are just dying. I mean, running through a smoke is really not the one.
Once again, it seems No Chance kind of throw things away a little bit too easily. A lot of control for Avangard. Like you say, some pretty nice smokes. Maybe innovative in places. I'm not sure if they've come up with that themselves or figured it out from somewhere else, but all the same, it works very, very effectively. They will secure themselves the 12th. They're okay to allow No Chance to save because it just seems they are unstoppable at the moment. A few blips here and there over on their CT side that gave No Chance the 6 rounds. But they aren't phased. They continue that momentum coming into the second half, win the pistol, now the first rifle round. Very dominantly so as well, if I do say so myself. Just kind of the one trade in there. And they pretty much, for the most part, all coming up from short. So not a great deal of super deep strategy, just moving in, getting the fundamentals of that T side down with the trades and the opening picks and things. Looking very clean from them. No Chance. Unfortunately, at the moment, I will make the pun. Living up to their namesake by the looks of things, unless they can pull something out of the bag in these next few rounds. But with the buy that they have here, Flakes, looks like it's going to be a 13th for Avangard. And then suddenly, you're 7 rounds down and things start to look a hell of a lot tougher.
The thing is, their money's just all over the place as well, right? I mean, it's 12-6. You've got the organ play, you've got the AWP, of course. But then you've also got like a bunch of pistols who have tried to sort of make it work around it by buying Kev. It's just awkward in general. I mean, if this goes the way we expect it to, which is Avangard finding their 13th round, you really are running out of opportunities for No Chance to show us something. So, definitely a little concerning here. The second half, it will be over before it even got started. Radofaction will hold on to the corner as the Flames set the pathway in front of him completely ablaze. The push will come on through, but slow and steady wins the race as he decides to just drop down in towards CT. Doesn't even want to take that first contact. That's such a crafty smoke, I love it. Really just blocks off that headshot angle. It means that Radofaction also can't see a thing. He can maybe get a little bit of a gap there as the smoke begins to move, but I don't really think there's going to be much he can really work in from that. Yeah, he'll be instantly shut down as well. Makalele will snipe down for one, but Buster goes to the CT play. Should be traded almost instantaneously back, but no, he finds Nuki as well, frozen. At least to equalize things out, somewhat makes it a 3 versus 2, but the bomb is ticking, and it's ticking ever so fast. I think this has to be another save hit.
Yeah, quite probably. Oh, Crystal robbed of that kill. Frozen will look to creep in here. Maybe looking to escape with the AWP, perhaps. But, oh, the tag, that's so unfortunate for James. At least they're going to know that he's there. He's not got a kit. The smoke doesn't really go onto the bomb. It's kind of a desperate attempt at a retake, honestly. And Crizzen will clean him up there. Like you say, probably a bit of a better idea to go for the save. But, again, there's like all 5 players on short. They just play the trades pretty well. Makalele adapted slightly to that nice smoke that kind of extends the smokes on short. Really cool stuff from Avangar, and it's working out, and I think it's something that maybe is catching No Chance off guard a lot of the time. Pretty much eliminates the A ramp as a dangerous place and kind of makes it difficult to play from car as well. So doing a really good job. That's a nice shot coming in from James, I believe, from the T spawn to take down Makalele early. And Frozen's already been tagged up. Another kill comes in as Buster will catch Crystal with a nade out. Things not looking good for No Chance as Avangar have got such a heavy read playing their own game and just ripping apart this CT defense round after round after round.
Yeah, this is just completely crumbling, isn't it? I'm not really seeing anything that's too positive here. Expecting, unless a miracle happens, it's going to go 14-6. And we're already starting to get to the point where I think this game might just be over. But hey, I mean, at least I have the AUG and the M4 to carry, right? At least there's that.
I suppose. Kind of one of those cases if we were earlier on in the game. Also, you may have spoken too soon here. I'll hold my point. Nucky is going to have to fight his way out. He will manage to find 2, so bit of damage done. They are still hunting, and he will go down eventually. Now in the pit, Radafaction also going to have a task on his hands. Survival is key here, really. Any little bit of help that they can get into the next round is really going to make a difference. They seem to know that he's in the pit. Break Flash comes in. He's trapped. Will manage to find 1, the second as well. So not all bad from Radafaction. Comes alive at the end of the round, where it at least matters. But yeah, unfortunately, the issue is, you know, saved rifle, some good damage done there by the remaining No Chance players. But unfortunately, with how far ahead Avangar is, that's not really good enough. You need to be picking up the rounds at this point. You know, those little caveats that we had, they lost the round, but unfortunately don't really apply so much here. So Avangar starting to steamroll ahead. One more round, and I think they pretty much secure it. As you can see, this buy from No Chance is not the best. Sure, they've got a number of rifles out, but lacking in utility. SMG and Scout in play changes the playstyle, makes things a lot more difficult. And No Chance really at last chance saloon right now.
Yeah, I mean, this final round force up, if they do lose this, is going to be... I think pitiful is probably a bad choice of word purely because it has this almost insulting connotation, which is definitely not the intention, but it is definitely going to be an extremely poor force up. So this is kind of all or nothing, like you say. Once again, A short. This whole game really has all been about this A site, hasn't it? Flash will go over that Scout, looking to see if it can do some work. The All Radafaction, that laser beam just letting rip. That will be a double kill to be found, so at least there's that. Fitch will trade things back, they won for himself. Radafaction's USD putting in their work, but Fitch be able to get the kill and bring it to a 1v3. That is the question. Radafaction sprints on away, just baits him by running knife out down into a CT. That causes him to walk through the smoke, and that's where his teammate can mop things up. That's a 7th round on the board. No chance. They keep on fighting.
Better late than never, I suppose. But at this point, yeah, it is just buying them a bit more, I guess, confidence, a bit more room. Not really feeling the full-on retake as yet. It's going to be another buy from Avangar, and now the danger stacks up even more. The pressure continuing to crush No Chance. If they lose this one, it's a hard reset, and that'll make the 16th a hell of a lot easier for Avangar. I think both teams are aware of this fact. No one wants to be the player to make a mistake at this point. It is make or break time, especially for No Chance. Not a bad buy from them. Definitely one of the best that they've had so far this half. And the T-side buy actually, you know, lacking in a few places. The glass cannon AWP James cannot afford to miss a shot at all. And again, their economy is looking shaky, so it could be a key swing round here. I think the fact that Avangard is so far ahead does make you err on the side of caution, but you never know.
It's a long way back. I mean, that's the big thing to keep an eye on right now. It's 14-7. The gap there is still pretty significant. I'll have to see just how this next round will go. Obviously going to see that smoke towards B, but the flashes will come through, and it's just going to be a complete sprint from them. Frozen once again putting that laser beam of an AUG to use. That's a double kill for him. Crystal to find one more, finishing off the damage he done early on that B push. He's 30 seconds on the clock and just 2 standing. I think this is already an Avangard save here, if I'm honest. It looks like they actually missed that second flash on their B play, which meant neither of those players were actually fully blind either, which is kind of disappointing when you're going for that B all-in, especially when you're going through a smoke.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a risky one. B in general, all through the one tunnel as well, for the most part, is pretty dangerous. I guess they pay the ultimate price. They will survive with 2 players, but James again, not going to have enough money to afford armor. As you can see, $50. Kika as well just saves the AK and armor. That's it. So I think they need to hard eco this one. Maybe try and get a bomb plant. Hope that possibly the individual players that have saved their rifles can pop the hell off. But it's a tough ask, that is for sure. I think hard eco this one, probably end up losing it. Try and do some damage / a bomb plant. Then take a bit of a pause while they are still far ahead. You know, just gather themselves. They really only need the one round. The second will come easily after that, I feel. So just don't get cocky. Just don't get over complacent, you know. Because again, just to remind you guys, this is the pick of No Chance. And the second map is going to be Cash, which is another pug-heavy type map where Avangard seem to run rampant. And you would expect them to be a bit more prepared for Cash than Dust 2 with it being their pick.
$50 seconds now going to come on around. We are going to start to see that short presence really take hold here. Well, actually a lot slower about it than I expected, but nonetheless, it's very, very clear what Avangard are looking to do. Smoke's also in hand by Buster and Co to support them on this push. Their main concern should be Makalele in his close position, but oh, that's perfect. The molly comes out, the frag grenade to follow as well, and that completely shuts down this entire push. And when you look at the clock, that's the pivot. 20 seconds remain now. They make the final sprint on through. Makalele should start to see some heads. He knows what's going on. He can hear the jump, but he just sprays on away. He'll finally be taken down, but it's too little too late. 10 seconds on the clock, yet to cross. Means we're out of faction. He can hit a crispy one-tap to delete quicker from the server.
Yeah, indeed. Taking a leaf out of No Chance's book there by, you know, trying to just hit that A-bomb site with only 30 seconds left, and a hell of a lot of nade damage comes in from Makalele, and he really does win the lottery with that one. Gets the 2 players that were going to go for the boost tagged down already with his nade, and then, you know, manages to spot them out, spray them down. So a really good opener. Does get traded, but, you know, 2 kills coming in with time for the rotations and things. Well, it really does just put a spanner in the works, I suppose, for Avangard. And now going for this force. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of this. I suppose they have the 3 AKs. It is very CIS to go for a buy like this. I guess the scout could do some work, but could have just taken the 1 eco and they would have had a much better buy. If they lose this, you know, it's going to really rip their economy apart. But we'll see. Frozen going to dodge out the flashbang initially. Will manage to take down 1. Crystal missing shots, but Frozen is here. Crystal will eventually chime in. It's all about Frozen, though, as he picks up a 3rd. All onto Kuka to try and find something. He will find the head of Frozen. We've got to find 4 more, and it is not possible for him. So a 10th round comes in for No Chance. As Avangard now, their money not going to be great. Going to have to... Surely, Eco, what's going on? Stop buying up so much. I mean, I don't think they're going to spend all their money, but this is getting a little out of hand from the T side, to be honest.
I mean, hey, the comeback is on, right? I'm not complaining. So we get to see a bit more of a better game of Counter-Strike. Always a win-win. Oh, that nade. That was a beefy nade towards long, right at the feet of Fitch. Puts him down to 48 HP very early on. Lovely stuff. Crystal. We'll find. Bit of work with the AWP to finish him off as well. That means now we're going to see a bit more mid-presence come through as Avangard will want to start to clump up towards this bomb.
Slowly but surely working their way in here. Just trying to bait out some shots there for the scout. Unfortunately, no one watching from back plat or the side of, you know, the front of plat, I guess, that little box that's there. Don't really think it has a defined name, but nonetheless, the play doesn't really work out so much. They were hoping that would be their way back in, but it's a passive kind of setup once again, and Frozen in the exact same angle as last round. They know how dangerous it was and how dangerous it could be here. 35 seconds thereabouts remaining now as they will move in towards the A site once again. One smoke available, hoping that this boost's going to work out. Crystal, with his AWP, is holding things on down. Radafaction in perfect spot here at Goose to just chime in as well if he opts to peek out. Crystal, though, is all that's needed so far. Radafaction, though, in he comes, and a double spray down does land, and 11th comes in for no chance. And I guess with the loss bonus stacking up, they will have a great deal of money here, but Avangard need to quickly find this 15th because no chance of building up some good momentum, some good money, and looking like they are putting up a pretty decent fighting chance here to maybe, you know, even things back up, maybe get back into it. We'll have to see how things go, but it's certainly a difficult one right now.
Crystal's loving it, isn't he? He's really starting to hit his shots now, which is always good to see. You're going to see that very early mid-duel come through. Crystal just deciding not to face into it, falls back and throws the nade off the wall. Fitch will move on through mid doors though, ready to peek in towards CT, and maybe we'll just take the fight up towards B. We could see either a long split through CT or some pressure on towards B. The options really are open for them, but Fitch actually just doubles back anyway. I think he's going to either throw that mid to B smoke, fake it, or maybe even just head towards short and completely forget about it.
Once again, though, it's a really slow start. Not many exchanges so far, even in terms of seeing each other. A lot of players coming up short here. CT's once again prepared for this. Some nice smokes going down, but they seem to have adapted to that sneaky one on at short. Makalele will spot the head of one and manage to actually find the shots. He will be traded, however, kind of trapped in an elevator, very hard to get away from. Look, you're going to have to let the bomb go down. So it's a 4 versus 3 now as Jane picks up that kill. But with the bomb down here, time is of the essence for no chance. I think they are, once again, looking a bit stagnated. It's not necessarily mistakes from them. They just don't quite know how to edge their way back into the round. Crizzen has got the final 2 players in at short, and they are just going to back away. He surely hears them. As Frozen going to fall, Crystal was looking to run away. Smoke not really going to do a great deal, maybe just to bait out the fact that he could be in it. Hold this crack angle. Oh, lands the leg onto Fitch through the wall, I believe. So not a great deal of damage done to him, and Fitch will find him. 15th round for Avangard. Good economy for no chance, in fairness, but still, it is 4 rounds in a row required from them. Not a single room for error right now. Really not looking too good for this CT side.
I think that's the problem, right? I mean, they were making a pretty momentous comeback, but you have 0 room for error, really. Those 2 rounds isn't that much. The upside for them is they were to build up enough money to be able to give them a fighting chance in this 27th round, but Avangard still are on 15 now. Now it's not just oh, you make a mistake and you lose your final chance. It's you make a mistake now and you lose the first map. It really is that black and white. The upside here is they do some initial damage as well, so at least puts Fitch and Radafaction on equal footing. Crystal going to penetrate a couple of shots through door. Doesn't lead to too much, though.
Yeah, again, it's been some really passive kind of starts from both teams. A few tags here and there, but no one really, getting crazy aggressive. No super fast long hits or CTs pushing through B tunnels. Ooh, nice smoke comes in towards shorts, the rail smoke as it's called. One that you can throw from a lot closer. I think that might be a bit more of a bait play from the T side to signify that they're a hell of a lot closer. Fitch, I think, going to be lining up a later rail smoke to come through, or maybe that smoke that we've seen a few times drop on the other side of short. I think it is going to be this rail smoke looking at the lineup, and there comes the one slightly lower down from Kukur. Is this going to be the 16th round? We'll have to see. 15 seconds remain. It's a tight one right now for Avangard. The flash on high from Makalele as they look to move in towards the site. Crystal is doing work. However, his teammate's going to fall. He too will also fall into now a 4-on-2 retake, a 4-on-1 retake for Frozen. And I think in the past couple rounds, it's just all fallen apart for no chance. Not really looking good for them. As Frozen falls, it'll be 16-11. So a dominant start from Avangard just carries on through in the end. No chance, not quite able to keep up the momentum as we will be going to that second map with Avangard in the lead.
It's such a shame to see it unfolding the way it did, but it was definitely a decisive result. One thing to mention is that T-side play of throwing those set smokes on towards box, on towards short, that was the bread and butter of the entirety of that second half, really, for Avangard's T-side. And it was interesting to see them really rely on that one execute so much in comparison to really not touching the B-side at all. So definitely a critical part of their play. But nonetheless, that is map 1 done and dusted, folks. We will be right back. We are going to be working pretty heavily on fixing this freezing issue, so please do bear with us. It is nothing myself or Scriv can resolve. It's just a matter with the feed that we receive and a bad routing issue between the UK and Sweden. So we are working behind the scenes with the tech guys to try and fix it, so do bear with us. We do, of course, greatly apologize on behalf of LootBet and UCC, but we'll be back with you in a few moments, hopefully with a very comfortable and clean map 2.
LootBet, made for live betting.
waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
Do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. How long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. You like a
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. A doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. We know I ain't ballin' yet. Hoes wanna holler, oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that. Ain't gotta say a word, I know what's up. You can have it all, watch me rip it off. I'll admit it, you got me feeling hella love. Even when it's going down, know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it in my heart. Yeah, I won't stop charging me, go and come harder. I can see you and I, way beyond the stars, girl. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right.
Hopefully this should be a lot better for you folks at home. I think we've got the freezing issue resolved, touch wood. So that should... Hopefully maybe we get to watch some Counter-Strike. Scriv, are you here with me? I gotta double check.
Yes, I am indeed waiting
Awesome.
patiently.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So after what was a pretty, I think it's fair to say, decisive map 1, we're looking forward to seeing what happens in map number 2. Of course, it is going to be Cash, as you see, with this beautiful angle in front of you. I mean, it's just wonderful. But I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts on the second map?
Well, the first map was the pick of No Chance. They kind of started to get into the groove towards the end, but it just took them a little bit too long. And as soon as they put that 1 foot wrong, they ended up losing. It cost them the game. It was kind of a what it was like 14 to I want to say like 8, something like that, maybe even earlier, before No Chance were able to pick up a round on the CT side. So hopefully if they come into this one with a bit of a better start, it looks kind of easier for them. But unfortunately, Avangar, great momentum on the first map. Cash are very similar to map 2 does too in a lot of ways. So I think that momentum is just going to carry them on through here. As I think, hearing the ticking sound, we might just be getting into the knife. So yeah, we're not going to be waiting too long here to get into the action, but No Chance need to get off to a good start, Flakes, is what I'm trying to say at this point. Otherwise, I think it's just going to run out of control once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely critical they start strong, and hopefully they can keep that momentum going in their way. I think that is by far the simple way of putting it. Fully aware right now, folks, that we do have no sound, so do bear with us. We're working on that right now as well. It looks like we might fix the freezing, but lost the sound in the process. So that's not ideal, but nonetheless, we got ourselves a knife round. It looks like we are just going to watch No Chance pretty much just chase Chrism down. Poor guy.
As some teams seem to be putting a lot more weight on knife rounds recently. A lot more tournaments at the moment, like these knife, especially the online ones. I'm noticing. The offline ones, it tends to be, you pick the map, the other team picks the side, but I guess in these kind of online tournaments, doesn't seem to be the norm so much.
Unless the knife is done, we are going to quickly move over to this screen. And then I can bring you back to this. I was hoping to be able to check a setting there for the sound. Unfortunately, it looks like everything is good on our end, and it's just an issue of what we're being sent, so do bear with us on that front. In terms of the map pick, Scriv, are you comfortable with Cash? I mean, the record of No Chance, they've got a bit of experience on this map. I mean, both teams actually do. But what's your overall sort of just thinking just about the map pick in general? Looks like we might have lost Scriv as well. That's unfortunate.
Right, I do believe I am back. I do apologise. Housemates were kind of being a bit loud outside the door there.
That's always the way.
Yeah, kind of have to inform them what's going on. But yeah, I think just very quickly to round up, it seems we're okay because we've got a pause here in good time, I suppose. So all will be worked out. But yeah, I would say Cash kind of another map where the individuals can really pop off once again. And a lot of teams and players really experienced on this map. So you could very easily see domination coming through, especially from that T side. I think it can swing T-sided if they get themselves a really strong economy. It's very hard for the CT side on Cash to get information without serious bits of aggression, rushing into A main or B main or through middle. But as we can see coming into this pistol, your CT setups can be really interesting and can change the way that the T's have to play around you because, you can get away with playing 3 on A or 3 in middle and spicing things up a bit. But we'll see whether Avangard are prepared for this one or not.
Alright, our faction is going to fall back to checkers as Crystal prepares for the contact peak. Nearly going to get caught with the smoke in a hand, though. It's not really ideal, and that means Buster will just naturally chase him down. Run faction then swings. He's only good for one as he'll be hunted right through to the back of checkers. He's a quick and easy 2-for-1 trade over on towards the B site. The site is now theirs, and No Chance already quick to try and get on this retake.
Once again, very quickly on the back foot coming into this second map here. Really not ideal. The bomb going to go down. No kit readily available for the CTs. No real utility. It's just going to come down to finding the shots. And being a man down, that's certainly tough. Nice find by Frozen, but peeks into 2. An easy pickup on towards the site. Nutki falls. And Crizzen with the final 2 kills will secure another dominant start for Avangard. They take the pistol. They survive with 3 players. It really didn't look like No Chance had a fighting chance there coming into that round at all, to be honest. We'll see coming into this next round, though. A few AKs brought up here and there, and should be easy enough for them as No Chance again going to hedge their bets and just go for a pretty safe eco. 3 nades, though. Could be interesting. We'll see where they end up.
And see the molly come out towards highway. That'll prompt the push as well from James as he just lets rip with the AK. That's 2 kills for him. Lock and key, maybe a third as well in the bag. Avangard will just drop them dead. A simple 2-0. Starting very strong in this matchup. Wow, those odds are incredible. 4.6 to 1.16, and no chance versus Avangard. That's a lot closer than that, to be honest. Reminds me of the odds we saw this weekend for a different game. I saw a game with 7 to 1 odds on what was, again, map that came right down to map 3, 16-13, 16-14 results. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see how the algorithm works, I guess, on that kind of thing. It's only a couple rounds in, so it's very hard to tell. I feel like they might be the overall for the series type thing, though. But like you said, it didn't dominantly win the first map, so it's kind of interesting. That is absolute filth from Kukert to take down Makalele there. That's a frustrating one. There's nothing you could really do about a kill like that coming through. But once again, Avangard get off to a strong start. And it seems like A control might just be right for the taking here. Some fast CT rotations, trying to stop this from happening. Great flash comes in, but Nuki not quite blinded up. Crystal's right behind him to find that kill. Frozen, meanwhile, goes down in middle. So they are losing men, and the bomb plant going to come in. Crystal slowly creeping around. Will spot out one, gets both of them, and might just be able to pull the defuse off here. It would be a 10-second hold. Certainly easier said than done, but he's got good protection. Kurt going to try and creep in, but Crystal takes him down. A 4K comes through for Crystal, beg your pardon. And it will be the rifle round going the way of no chance.
It's just tapping heads left, right, and centre. That opening pick from Kirk, that was styling, honestly. Just that crouch jump on towards red, sliding one tap, and then falls away. Nasty, nasty stuff. But unfortunately, that was really the start and the end of it. Fitch did join him for a double kill as well, but it all just fell apart very quickly. Obviously, we did see that huge quad kill come out as well over the course of the round. And that definitely gives no chance. A bit more play into this second map now, as they do get themselves their first round to work with here, and I will see some decent weapons in play due to that as well. We do still see the SMG in play on Makalele, though. As it is then a famous and mixture of all. Exchange with a sick opening kill. Takes down Frozen as he puts the AWP to work in mid.
Yeah, so the difficulty there for no chance is they only survive with like one player. That means the buy's going to be pretty damn weak. And then they lose the opening pick as well. It's pretty important there for Nuki to pick up that 2K. Bit of a shame that we missed it, but nonetheless, an advantage now and a pretty strong one. Oh, and it looked dicey for a second there, but the headshot lands. Nuki taking this round firmly by the tail and really taking matters into his own hands. Oh, Crizin had made it out. He'd snuck in past Makalele, who will get spotted out and actually manages to drop the bomb, so it's kind of fallen apart a little bit for Avangard in this round. Crizin the only one left in a 1 versus 4. The bomb out in no man's land doesn't matter as Nuki finds him just as the smoke goes down. It will be a second round. Nuki in with a 4K as the individuals stepping up in the past couple rounds to allow no chance and opening, and now an even scoreline across the board.
Starting to make this one a little more competitive too, and you take into account the money that Avangard have to put into play in round 5. It is just going to be a mixed bag of Glocks and a P250, maybe a Deagle or 2 thrown in there on Chris and James, so nothing really too special, not a single bit of Kevlar in sight either, which is definitely going to be the most critical piece of this round, as they should just be mowed down by these lasers that are the Orgs. Looks the AK on Frozen, he's been able to carry through these rounds as well. Looks like we are going to see the boost come through. See if they can maybe work a Deagle headshot or 2. Makalele utilizing that AWP just to smite down Crizin as he peeks out 3 main.
Missed early shot there from Makalele. Will get the second. Meanwhile, over on that boost, James manages to find an opener for the T side, but there's superior weaponry and clearly superior aim as Nuki, once again, multi-frag round for him. Sure, they're in the eco frags, but he's getting off to a pretty good start this game. James, meanwhile, is doing some serious damage. Not quite able to find Makalele, and I think that's just going to spell the end for him. It will indeed. Even if he'd have found that kill, I think the trade would have immediately come in. But bare minimum of 3, it's a tiny bit of damage from Avangard. Not quite enough to shake the economy of no chance very much. They will have another buyout, though, the nature of that T side. Once the loss bonus starts stacking up, if they can consistently get bomb plants as well, they should be able to readily buy more often than not. But we'll see coming into this. 3 Augs, of course, in play for No Chance. Counter-Strike in 2019. And like you say, the laser beams are very, very difficult to overcome at the moment. Not really many teams gotten these Augs cracked down on the T side of things, at least. The best way is to just demolish the economy, I suppose.
Well, that's the main thing, right? It's just you've got to use the economical battle to try to deny that 5-man org stack. But also, it also is just Counter-Strike basics, right? Like, you know, utilizing your flashes correctly to allow you to get yourself into an angle. I mean, there's a lot about... I think the fundamentals is probably the best way to describe it. And Frozen utilizing that early headshot on towards Fitch to have a bit more map control here as Makalele finds quicker on the push out as well. This angle has just worked out so well for him, both close towards red and also back up through CT wall as well. We'll just drop the nade to counter the push as Crystal continues to pick them apart. Avangard just being surrounded right now. No chance. Vultures looking for their next feast as they seem to just pick, and pick.
Indeed. Looking really good from them. Revitalized, I suppose, in this second map a wee bit. Because they were quite often on the back foot in that first map, and now they are the ones in control for the most part. Losing the first couple of rounds, but, you know, the T-side pistol, especially on Cash, a little bit more of a randomness factor to it. The Glock train can just run in and spam on both sides, to be honest. So sometimes difficult to account for, but they take it on the chin. Don't let it get to them. Once the rifles have come out, they've looked very, very clean here. Will be that fourth coming through as the time runs out. Only 2 rifles saved by the T side. So if they opt to go for a buy here, it's not going to be ideal, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. Just looking right now across them as a team, it's a bit all over the place, to say the least, isn't it? I see Nukai just spray dap in towards mid. See if maybe do a little early damage on anyone who will be facing, but it looks like they are just going to late rotate through. Deagle going to be there just to shoulder peek off the corner as the smoke will eventually fade. Now, Frozen does have the resmoke if needed, but he's stuck towards sandbags, and he can't really get out into the angle to throw that resmoke either. It's kind of awkward for him in mid, to be honest.
Again, though, the nature of Cash, they can kind of just sit in the mid garage and slowly make their way out, or maybe make their way out off of a set piece. This time around, again, thanks to that weaker buy, they're just going to move up slowly. The smoke comes in. That kind of gives the illusion to Frozen that he's got a few moments to play with. Does go for the peak, though, and bests Buster, dropping one of those 2 AKs quite early on into the set piece. Molotov put spanner in the works for Fitch. But again, this man advantage with only 30 seconds remaining, No Chance looking pretty good because Avangard have very little control to work with. I think they're going to struggle to get into a bomb site with the lack of utility that they have. And again, just that lack of control. The boys starting to move in towards middle here. They will manage to trade back Frozen finally, but Nuki and Crystal holding things down. I don't think they have time to go to either bomb site at this point, in all honesty. The best hope is to maybe take some players with them. Jame, I guess, can save this AK once again, but not going to be ideal going into the next round. Avangard, something is missing right now on this T side. They need to figure out what. Maybe a pause is in order for them.
Momentum definitely swinging right now, and No Chance's favour, that's for sure. 5-2, a pretty healthy lead, but anything could happen. Very early days right now into this first half, just about halfway through. Looks like we are going to see the boost come in as well. That AK just going to find its way over. James just being ever so patient here, though. Doesn't quite want to peek out to anything just yet. Might be able to hear them boosting up as well, going for this counterplay. That all so close is so painful. Oh, buddy. Things just go from bad to worse.
Yeah, just really cannot catch a break on this T side right now, to be honest. The remaining 3 players going to look to move in towards A, but there's so many CTs here quickly. They're just going to be able to shut this down so easily. Fast boost onto the top of red, picks up 1, Frozen to find the final 2. And again, waiting that clock down, but also being 2 men down, Avantgarde just cannot figure out what the hell is going wrong right now. And as you can see, the odds kind of flipping slightly now. There's no chance. 6 rounds in a row looking so clean on this CT side with the rifles. And it's a bit odd to see. Avantgarde looked great on their opponent's map pick of Dust 2, and now No Chance looked great on their opponent's pick of Cash. So it's a bit confusing in terms of the way that the veto has gone, but exciting Counter-Strike nonetheless. And another weak buy from Avantgarde should spell another round for No Chance in theory. I think this is the first time that we're going to see them properly hit the B-bomb site since the pistol as well, so it should be interesting.
Once again, that's that all close range. Just spraying and pray, ripping them to shreds. Poor thing is Frozen just having a field day right now in this close angle of checkers. Jamie just going to try and rotate away, see if he can maybe get a cheeky plant on that A site. McLeod, though, I imagine, will be there ready and waiting just to hold that cross with the AWP. We can see him rotating in towards Carl, but he's actually leaving the site. No, Makaleli, come back. This is not the play. Jamie is here and he's just going to walk on in and get this bomb plant for free if you're not holding this cross. Surely doesn't get away with this. Makaleli just flicking around. Looks like Nate will go on his feet. Yeah, he can't plant this. No, it's done. I'm so glad. That would have been insane. Makaleli was there and he started rotating away just as he was about to reach the A site.
Bit of a difficult one to stomach for Avantgarde so far. Another rifle round going to come in. The bomb plant wouldn't have made too much of a difference. I suppose tiny bits of utility in places, but I don't think the amount of utility is their issue at this point. Especially on a map like Cash, you do not need a great deal of it, really. Faction going to get aggressive early on in B main. Finds the first pick once again. No Chance. Taking the round into their hands and just kind of ripping things apart. As you said earlier on, picking apart this T side right now, just full control of the game. You know, the fact that Faction works his way in, I would imagine, off the back of a flashbang, picks up 1, drops back, unpunished. Fitch in middle alone, picked up by Frozen in the off angle. And once again, with a minute remaining, it's a 2-man advantage for No Chance, and they've been gifted those frags.
Flash to come out on towards the cross. Marley as well towards the back of quad. Makaleli will be holding the forklift angle, which is very close for an AWP, but can work out just as well, providing he gives himself room to fall back as the AKs will swing on out, and Avantgarde will be completely crushed. That flank as well from behind, just a final nail in the coffin. As we do see 8-2, and a quick pause to come on in.
Yeah, I feel like maybe this should have come slightly earlier. No Chance have now secured the mathematical victory, I suppose. The 1 round in the lead is always nice, especially this early on, 11 rounds in, and they're already in firm control of this game. And again, even though we are seeing them here with a good CT side, I feel like it is their T sides that they perform slightly better on average. If anything, you know, in the Lootbet Hotshot series, the tournament that they won just yesterday, it was their CT sides where sometimes they could fall down, and that's where some teams are able to pick up a map or make it more competitive where it shouldn't have been. So this doesn't bode well for Avantgarde, the fact that they're off to such a good start on their weaker side. Not quite sure what's going on. It looks good. It's a cool kind of angle, but there's kind of like his hands. Okay, there we go. Makalele was like floating above or something, and it looked very, very ominous indeed. But yeah, nonetheless, I think they call that the GoPro angle. I believe is what Twitch chat call it more often than not. But we'll see. Unpause comes in. They are going to opt to kind of buy around the AK here that they've got with a few deagles, a bit of utility, and hopefully, at best, they should be able to get a bomb plant, do a bit of damage, but no chance. I don't know, it's just looking so clean from them. Maybe they're called no chance because that's what they want their opponents to read at the start of every single round, rather than what they think of themselves. Crystal does manage to find the first. He is at least traded back, but that AK going to get dropped, and that was kind of their only hope. Nice play from James, though. Easily read. Frozen getting a bit greedy, perhaps, and now things looking better and better for Avangard. For the first time in a long time, they've gotten themselves a pretty hefty advantage and perhaps B-site control.
So nice to see them finally have a chance, really, at a round here. I'm just hoping that what we don't see is this death over on towards the A site. And does, of course, would then leave it a 3v3, providing he doesn't get a kill before he falls. If he does, even, that's a quicker, of course. But with the bomb already ticking on down, it's, as you can see on the top of your screen, that's where you can get an idea of what's going on with the bomb there. I think we are now just going to see maybe a bit of exit frags here. I don't really expect no chance to be going for a retake, especially with the Dead Nuki taken into account as well. Michael Elliott likely hearing quicker. Yeah, with that jump almost certainly now. Knows that he is being hunted.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to bait the AWP shot from coming through there. Doesn't really matter, unfortunately. The P250 not going to be good enough. Will get taken down. It's quite a key weapon to find. I mean, there's so much money right now for no chance, but still, it saves a bit of cash for Avangard. But yeah, I think that was more no chance's fault for losing that one, rather than Avangard with some crazy plays. You know, they just open up well on that B-bomb site. Frozen does get a bit overconfident in middle with his aggression and easily caught off guard. But it was the fact that that one player in the form of Kika over on A, they seemed to think it was a B fake. And, you know, everybody rotated across to A, already being a man down. And kind of by the time they realized their mistake and the fact that they'd been fooled, it was too late. So just a bit of a misstep from no chance, but perhaps a blessing in disguise kind of round. As I always say, there's a chance here for them to get the reset onto Avangard and pick things back up in their favor. But Fitch going to open up, and Ratifaction gets finished off there by the nade of James, knowing that he tagged him up. Nothing he can do about that. So it's very quickly into a 5-on-3 in favor of this T side. Looking good in the past couple rounds. Another kill to come through. And it's no chance right now, who seemingly do not stand a chance. Makalele going to find one on his AWP. Crystal as well does chime in. Molotov to go down towards headshot. Unfortunately, kind of lands in the smoke, but the bomb readjusting back towards A, because once again, there's a man out on A for Avangard, and they've realized that there is no one here. So the bomb going to rotate back, and they should be able to get another easy bomb plant.
The question is, whether they plant for nice out in the open, it looks like, for a main. They've, of course, got Jamie down in mid, who can rotate through in towards that A side of the map as well. Missing a pretty crucial shot there, actually. It would have been a lovely kill on towards Makalele. Really would have solidified the round. With Crystal finding Prison, you're going to start to see this highway push come through now. But a great shot from Quicker brings back that confidence as Makalele will cross straight through to the site. I think he thinks he's got a chance of this. He's just going to get straight on the bomb and hold it down. There's 2 seconds remaining. He's going to get shot in the back, surely. Oh, 0.3 seconds remain. And he will be taken down. Avangard up to 4. Going to really work their way back into the second map here. After taking map 1, they want to collect on that best of 3 victory without letting it go to a third map.
Yeah, I mean, if they can soften the blow going into that second half by winning up a few more rounds here. Again, as juxtaposition to no chance, it was really their CT side that impressed on Dust 2. They had some nice setups on the T side that worked out initially, but they did stagnate at a point, which allowed No Chance to pick up a few more rounds and, possibly get back into things. Ultimately, their very strong CT side and start to the T side is what carried them on through. The CT side definitely looked a hell of a lot cleaner. Nice flash going to go in. No one really going to move in off the back of it, but buying time, bits of time for No Chance by blinding people up to sort of moving default, as it were, across the map. Players pushing in towards B, players pushing in towards A to just send the feelers out there, see whether they can find an opening. Oh, Makalele loves his wall bangs. It does land onto James as he spots out the foot, leaving him on 35 HP. And I think off the back of that now, he does not want anything to do with the B-bomb site. Going to look to move away. A key fight here to come in. Crystal not ready for Buster on that angle, though. And it will be Avangard to once again open up the A-bomb site, looking right for the taking. Frozen up on the boost. That was his chance, but he will fall also. Look, you're going to have to go absolutely huge here. And unfortunately, I think it's just not going to happen. He falls and 2 players left for No Chance. Surely just got to back off and save. Again, I think they will have money to buy up into the next round, but an AWP in the hands of Makalele. And there was an AUG in the hands of Radofaction, but apparently they were feeling the 2-on-5 and busted to find the final kill. Avangar looking good in the past couple of rounds, and 5 is a good number to get to. It's very difficult at this point for No Chance, I think. Looking at the way that Avangar are bouncing back, they need to put a stop to this, and quickly.
It's a great little comeback for them, though, isn't it? I mean, up to 5 rounds, if they can bounce up to 7 as well, then it really puts them in a much more solid position moving into the second half of Cashit. I see a lot of nades going through in towards mid, just to really try and deny Avangard that early sort of mid presence. But if you look at the map, they're nowhere to be seen. They are completely clustered up pretty much towards this B site. You do have 2 players inside of mid garage, but they're only there on the sort of rotation through in towards B, really. It's very clear what the Avangard playbook right now is dictating. That little ladders angle you saw just there, that yellow ladder towards the left side of B main, is a great way to check over that box, just to see if anyone is tucked in with his CZ or anything of the sort. Meanwhile, that CT smoke, you're peeking a little early there, hasn't quite bloomed. Crystal loves the easy ones. He drops them dead as they do try and cross. Ratisfaction will be traded as Fitch comes back for a second as well. Both players extremely low HP, but they've got themselves to sight, and that is going to be the key thing here, as the bomb should find its way down any second now.
So 2 versus 4 initially. Unfortunately, I don't think it looks like it's going to happen. Fitch on 3 HP. Surely has to get taken down through the smoke eventually. Crystal will find his head. Bit overkill. But nonetheless, the round comes through for No Chance. And Avangard, the B hit, not quite as successful as perhaps it has been in the past for them. It will be a 9th. Possibly a 10th to come through. Possibly a 6th. It's definitely possible for both sides, is what I'm trying to say. Avangard have got a great deal of money in the bank. They will be able to buy very comfortably into this previous round. Obviously, economy and what they've got left, etc., does not matter here, because we will be moving into that second half quickly after this one. But I think this 6th round could really make a difference for Avangard. Will certainly ease some of the pressure going into the second half. And they look good on their pistols, so they can open up once again and take it to a kind of 9-7 and a 9-8 off the back of it. Could be a really good opportunity for them. So this next round, it's only 1 round, but it has a great deal of weight. Oh, jump boost coming in. Crystal on a crack angle, though, will kind of spot it, but not going to be able to punish at all. I think they've got 3 players very quickly available onto this B-bomb site. If Frozen opts to come in through the vents as well, they'll have 4th here. So they are really banking on it being this B-bomb site right now, Flakes. Avangard kind of making a very telegraphed hit, but not going to be afraid. Radofaction fully blind, was already in midair, though. Kind of had to commit to that one. Will get taken down early on by Buster, and now, once again, the round is in the hands of Avangard. Is their choice on where they go. Nucky and Crystal going to chime in to pick up 2, but Crystal burns 3-on-3. So once again, the T side with very little control, in fact. Nucky flying from the heavens will take him down. But keeping things even is James, so it's anyone's round at this point.
Molly found itself over on towards the back of site. 8 seconds remain. Bomb still yet to go down. 4 seconds on the clock, and oh, he's a little too late. It is over. No chance. Will give themselves a 10-5 half. Not that bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, in places maybe could have been slightly better, but still a very workable.
Definitely curious, though, to see what No Chance can do in this second half. They had a really good run of it, right? I mean, we can see just how many rounds they had in a row. It was wonderful. 8 back-to-back. Also just very dictating in terms of the way they ran the economy of Avangard too. But those final 3 they lost were definitely important. But one thing to think about as well is that 10-5, sure, but it really would be 12-3 if Avangard didn't get the pistol. Those first 2 rounds have definitely been huge for Avangard as well.
It is very dependent on how the early stages go here. I mean, there was an absolute tear from No Chance, as you can see. 8 rounds in a row there comes through. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the rifle's just not looking so good from Avangard. And James having, once again, a really good game, a really good half, but everybody else kind of lagging behind a little bit. Really do need to pick it up on the CT side, especially, of the 2 sides of the game. It is the more important to have everybody firing on all cylinders on your CT side of things. So we'll see. It did look clean from them on Dust 2 when it came to the defensive play, but I think this is going to be a slightly tougher one. No Chance clearly got some momentum going here, and their T-side's hella clean most of the time. P250 in the hands of Makalele, the raid boss in full effect. Crystal and Radifaction, the 2 supportive type players, going to be picking up the utility, and a Molotov, interestingly, from Radifaction. So they've got plans for this hit. It's going to be a passive A retakes out from the CTs, however, so maybe this utility might just end up being a bit useless. Squeaky door going to open as the smoke will go down to cover car and highway, but they're pushing straight in here. Kukert going to pick up 1. As yet to fall as well, just buying time for the rotations in and around this smoke. Makalele has to get the reload off. He does, but still the kill's not coming through. It's Crizzen who finds 2. Makalele will drop him, and then eventually Kukert, but it's still a 3 versus 2 in favor of the CT side. Buster, easy headshots for him. A 2k towards the end, a quick double to end things, and 6 rounds now for Avangard on the board, and they will get that second half pistol in the bag.
Great way for them to bring things back, right? I mean, from a 10-5 half, they can secure themselves their 6th round here now, try and build into their 7th if possible as well. I'm sure No Chance will have something to say about it as they ponder their options with their money here. Just picking up a couple of pistols, smoke flash on Crystal as well. But let's say Avangard can move this to 7 or 8, just making things a whole lot closer. And remember that No Chance, Avangard, sorry, have a lot more on the line here than No Chance do when you think about it, right? For Avangard, this is about winning this series 2-0 now. They have a chance to end this right here, right now, if they can bring it back instead of allowing that risk of a 3rd map to come through. And I've seen it time and time again where teams, they play a team in the first map, they struggle somewhat, they lose, then the second map they get better and better and make it a little bit more close and competitive. If they get bested in that 3rd map again, then it'd be very realistic in saying that No Chance have a real chance here to actually take this best of 3, but we'll have to see how this does play out, how close it will in fact be. Already the first pick does go in favor of Avangard, taking down Radifaction. Jamie will be holding on mid as well. Just likely as catch this headshot angle of Nuki as he tries to cross. No Chance, just dropping like flies as Frozen and Makalele, the last 2 players remaining.
Yeah, only a few upgraded pistols into this round, but still would have been nice to see a bit more from them. Don't really get a great deal done at the end of the day. But you never know. Makalele and Frozen, definitely capable. Makalele certainly, in my opinion, past his heyday, but still a hell of a player. A greatly experienced one. We'll peek out to try and find the first bit. It's a bait setup. Jamie's left pretty low, but now Frozen in a 1 versus 5. I mean, you don't really see him doing this. There's a chance he picks up a kill here, but I think as well with 3 players being on the A bomb site, doesn't really matter what he would have done there. The bomb plant definitely out of the question for me, but tried to build it up a little bit. Flakes, unfortunately, he just gets one tapped immediately as soon as he peaks, so not quite the entertaining end we were looking for.
You got to see that boost come over as well now. Oh, this is creative. Jamie actually getting on a boosted connector. Wonder if he'll be able to do anything here. What can he see? There's your answer. Right up on towards Radofaction. Catches him as he tries to come on over. And a great way for Avangar to pick up a first pick without any chance at a response or real refrag from No Chance. That's got to suck. I mean, look at the amount of damage that was done as part of that as well. Crystal down to 14 HP. Frozen down to 61. Really not what you want to see. Crystal even lower now as his B plate it's just not looking good, is it? It's completely falling apart. Buster will finally be traded. Frozen will be there to get it done. CT smoke to come through, but Fitch is going to get aggressive. So much more damage as well, but he couldn't find the kill. This is where things get dicey. The man advantage is in favor of the terrorists here. However, No Chance of 2 extremely low HP players. It will definitely play into the hand of Avangard as they gear themselves up to take back this site. But they've decided to scarper on away. Head on over to the A site, save those 2 rifles for round number 19. And allow No Chance an 11th round.
No Chance looking really good once the rifles come out once again. Great stuff from them. Seeming that cash is slightly better for them at the moment than Dust 2 was. Avangard get the pistol once again, so I suppose they have that going for them. But it seems, the rifle setups, once again, the plans in the gun rounds, not quite as effective, unfortunately. So, like you say, an 11th for No Chance as they continue that momentum from the first half. Avangard did manage to save a fair amount. I think should be able to spread the wealth and get out another reasonably workable buy, but they need to get rounds on the board at this point. That is what is important here, because No Chance are in with a really good opportunity to start running away with things at this point in time. James looking to get aggressive, maybe going to decide against the fact he's hiding on the edge of the smoke, staring at the wall to turn away from flashbangs, for those of you that maybe not quite sure what that play is. Spray coming through the smoke. They're savvy to the fact that he could be there, manages to pick up one. Radofaction will get the trade. If he'd have fully swung on that, I think he might have been able to find both of them, but goes for the safe play instead, and it will cost a 1-for-1 trade, and ultimately the mid control goes the way of No Chance.
And that's critical, really. I mean, from a trading point of view as well, it's a 4v4, it's always going to be No Chance to have that upper hand. They want to whittle down this CT side. Naturally, minute on the clock, a lot of time for them to work with here. And notice the B play, Molly will be thrown. Nuki did get through, which means he'll be able to get the kill on towards Chrism, but once again the trade comes through. Frozen flying one tap on towards Fitch, that was nasty. Does give them an upper hand, but they've got a B site to take with both players present. Not going to be easy, that's for sure. Well, utility will be thrown, flash towards upper, Molotov as well, I believe, following up as well. CT smoke comes through, Buster, knowing where both players are, will find one before he peeks on in, tucks in the sight, causing the swing from Radofaction. And that will finish things off. 11-8, Avangard keeping it close, keeping it competitive.
Yeah, certainly never a dull moment here in this second map. Obviously, Avangard having already won Dust 2 16-11. They would love to clean things up here in a swift 2-0 fashion. But it is, like you say, remaining competitive between these two teams. One point in time, looking dominant for No Chance, and Avangard bring it right back into the balance, proving why maybe they should be able to take this one here. And it's going to reset No Chance's economy as well. Just a few Deagles in play. The boost coming up. Important fight for James to win. Going for the blind spray. Nuki does not peek up into it. Does not peek up and find the kills. So bit of a face-off there, but no damage done at all early on here, despite they were so very close to each other. Jane will spot out the head of another as Nuki, looking to get aggressive, gets taken down. Clean headshot comes through. The bomb has to be retrieved, but the man advantage in favour of Avangard early on, looking really good. Another one to come through from Fitch as well. Brilliant stuff so far. Smoke does go down, but they peek out a bit too early and will pay the ultimate price. It's all going to be onto Frozen, 1 versus 5. No kills coming through for No Chance, as they were hoping to at least do a bit of damage, but it does not happen. And it will be most likely a 9th for Avangard, unless Frozen can pull off the impossible.
He loves being these little 1v5s, doesn't he? That's the 3rd time this game we've unfortunately found Frozen with a Deagle to his name and a 1v5. Not ideal. Will be shut down, and that does bring Avangard up to the 9th as expected. Obviously, the money really getting broken. Avangard in that previous victory for them. Does leave them, I believe, with just enough to make a force-up work, but I think the utility is going to be quite stretched. We'll have to see once we get back into the game. Yeah, so they actually did fairly well on the utility, but they sacrificed the firepower. There's a lot of pistols in play here. We do, of course, have those 2 rifles at least, but it's not pretty. I mean, they got a 3rd Galil actually on Frozen, or 2 Galils, 1 AK. Not really losing the AK to Radisfaction. That's not retrievable as well without them committing to this duel, which, I mean, JB's in a great position here to just keep punishing them if possible. Good flash means Nuki can swing on out, picks up the AK. Oh no, he keeps the Galil. Okay then. Buster and Vent meanwhile, gonna hear the whole thing. Makaleli will smite him down. Fitch trading towards Highway brings us back to a 3 versus 2.
Crizzen to find another, as Crystal now going to be the only one left, and unfortunately not long for this world at all. Crizzen, really good stuff from him, picks up a 2k towards the end, a 10th for Avangard, and now bringing this game back into contention for sure. Quite possibly an 11th there, as you can see, the money not great for No Chance, a half buy at best. They don't generally go for crazy force buys here on the international mix, or European mix, I should probably say. But nonetheless, a bit of utility, few pistols, 1 player with armor. Would expect Avangard to pick this one up. Something they certainly need praising on is how clean a lot of the anti-ecos have been from both of these teams, actually. Across the series, we're not seeing any crazy rounds come out where, only pistols have won it or anything like that. But, I have a sinking feeling I might just have jinxed it, possibly. We'll see. James does manage to get one in from behind, but will get traded. Flash is coming through now from the T-side as they look to push in. Crizzen and Buster up close and personal. Going to hold things down pretty well, so
he found the player running back checkers instead of the player crossing through the smoke in B main. I love that. He just...
Oh, really?
It's because the smoke behind him, someone decides to run through it. I love that. It's an accidental kill that he wouldn't even realize. It's lovely.
Yeah, sometimes a bit of madness comes through. A bit of luck is all you need. And Nuki certainly needs some luck here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're him, do you save the MP9? That's the question.
I want to say it's probably not worth it in terms of...
Yeah,
I guess he's not taking any damage. Okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah, he got enough money to buy anyway, right? So the MP9 is going to be something you throw away at the start of the round, so just go do some damage. I mean...
Yeah.
Basically what it comes down to for me, so... I should be able to get an AK and a bit of utility up here as well, or... Yeah, I mean, he's more than happy, so... Not too bad. 11 to 11, though. Equal scoreline now. Avangard really sprinting for that 2-0 victory here. I see that A main smoke fairly standard come through. Is going to be an A commit play, though. No chance. Just going for The Angels right now, I mean, that really is the bread and butter of this team, right? There's no fakes here. There's no like complex strategy. It's just we're going to run out of sight. We're going to tap some heads and, well, what do we do if we're not tapping heads, boys? That's really sort of how I feel like this game is unfolding right now for them. Getting completely cut down as they do eventually get themselves out onto the site. A couple of nice shots here and there. Frozen puts in the work as he finds James. Makes it a 1v2, so it's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be hard graft here. I mean, he's got to get the bomb as well. Kristen's just completely aware of what's going on. Will just hold and wait and be patient. He gets the kill off the back of that. And we see Avantgarde take the lead for the first time in this game. There's no chance to start to drop away.
Yeah, definitely. I think they need to figure out, what is going wrong again. No chance going to be on a weak buy. Looking really, really good right now for the CT side to clean this one up if they can keep this momentum going. They are as yet to pull out the double up setup that we saw a bit of on Dust 2. So as soon as, no chance maybe get a bit of a read here on this Avantgarde setup, they have something in the back pocket to continue to catch them off guard, keep them on their toes. Variety, of course, being the spice of life, but all the same, we'll see what the Pistols have got. James doing a great job on the AWP. Maybe they don't need to, because he is doing all the work right now. Manages to find a second pretty easily. The third lands, but does not get the kill. He will have to be careful, left on 21 HP, is called upon a friend. The buddy system, of course, ever effective. Fitch going to be close behind, but James stealing the kills away nonetheless. Third comes through for him. His teammate will be pushed back slightly, so Crystal has gained a bit of middle control here for the remaining two players, but on 16 HP, and again, weak weaponry, it's not going to be ideal. Ball on Tanuki in a 1-on-5. Not able to find anything. Will get taken down. A 13th comes through for Avantgarde, very cleanly indeed, as they continue the trend. Will secure a 13th, and their money looking really, really good right now. No chance need this round, if you ask me, Flakes, otherwise it's going to be the end of this series for them.
I mean, the momentum is just so high right now for Avantgarde as well. You've got players like James just crushing you in mid. It's really just not that pretty. But Fish is also playing very well, but James definitely the stand-up player. 25-11 right now, for those of you who haven't noticed. His stat line is just the immense individual prowess, but also the confidence in Avantgarde. I mean, they're playing very aggressive positions, getting a lot of early frags. Definitely not something to be complaining about, of course. Really just happy days for them. Nice little BMA smoke comes through. We're going to see one response from Crizzen. What he's trying to do there is see if he can set up his teammate on towards boxes for success here. They just walk through the smoke and go for these Angels. Buster's going to just love it. He's just going to absolutely love it. Unfortunately, though, he's just going to get one tap by Frozen. Gets himself in the back lines and just, flicks to the left, gets a one tap. Flicks to the right, gets a one tap. Can he find Fitch as well? Well, yes, he can. This man is on a riot right now. Triple kill for him. Back-to-back headshots. Quicker and James, the last two players having go remaining. We might finally see a round here for No Chance. But you know what? I'm playing devil's advocate. What happens if No Chance then get reset in round 26?
That's exactly it. It would be a repeat of history, of course. And unfortunately, I mean, consistency seems to be an issue for them on this T side right now. And Avantgarde surely going to realize the opportunity that they have. Also, looking into this round, you have Frozen kind of popping off, and it's very difficult to rely on individuals to continually perform round after round after round. So it's a little bit less of a team effort and more the solo effort at this point. So perhaps just buying themselves a bit more time before the inevitable, but we'll see. Give it a couple more rounds, maybe I'll start to believe. At the moment, though, I think Avantgarde is still in the driver's seat of this one, and like you say, the reset certainly on the cards right here. And now, as soon as they lose a round, in comes the double AWP setup to just try and throw a spanner in the works for No Chance. Another kind of new thing to deal with right here for the T side.
As Nade could well be bountiful as it finds itself over on towards Boost. Makalele, 5 HP. There you have it. Great nade indeed. Jamie just sticking with his white box position here, holding on towards mid now that the smoke has faded. Fitch won't have any information or likely won't have heard any steps yet either that they are present in A main unless a small slip up took place, but Worker, meanwhile, will be peeking just through door as it is opened on up. He'll know what's going on. We'll drop a Molly instantly in response. The downside is that smoke's a little deep, which means that Molly just goes right on through and they can't get out. They can't do anything at all. Slows down this play. And 40 seconds remain. They've still got utilities. They can still set themselves up for something once more. But the only downside is that they have, one smoke in play. So they can maybe use that for cross if they do try and want to get out through a main.
Opening pick going to come in for Q-Kurt. James as well chiming in. Fitch will fall flat, but man advantage. Great little solo play from Q-Kurt here as he manages to find another. Radifaction left very low indeed by Crizzen, eventually finished off. Nucky now in a 1 versus 3. We'll find the first. The A-bomb site can be difficult to deal with as well, as he does get denied by James. It looks so very close for just a second there, but Avangar going to take the round by the skin of their teeth. But at this point, that's all they need.
The saving
like
grace,
you
though,
alluded to,
is bear in mind that no chance in the round where we did find themselves get finally a victory here. They were lucky in the sense they got to keep 5 players alive,
right?
Which means that they actually have money here. They had around 42.50 on some of these players. What they've opted to do though is buy full utility, and I'm hoping there are rifles on some of these players because I did see a whole lot of deagles. Oh yeah, well, I was starting to see them swap back to the AKs for a second there. I was concerned, but it is the rifles in play. As I expected. So they've got themselves a full buy here, and it's a pretty good last stand by, all things considered. And the reason why I say that is if they, let's say, assume they lose this round and they don't save players, their money next round is going to be pretty trash. It's not going to be great. And we could maybe see a couple of SMGs, but I doubt we'll see many AK-47s. So it's not a pretty sight as Crizzen just has a field day there. Double kill for him. Nuki and Frozen, though, will get something back. Fitch knows there's a player back sight, but can't quite deal with him just yet. Until now. Bomb falls on his lap, and what's happy days from there? Nuki trying to say he can support his teammate, but he'll be dropped on dead, leaving just Radifaction to find those one-taps.
Yeah, known as more of the supportive player for this side, but certainly has had his moments. Not so far this game, only on 9 kills. Going to have to make it 11 to take this round here. Tiny bit of utility left. I think that Molotov just kind of missing its mark. It does bleed down slightly, so it does force him out. And both playing together on this CT side, this is kind of the correct way to do things. Immediately available for the traders. They will walk through the smoke, allow him to get the bomb down. Sure, why not? But the kill comes through, and Kirk going to get that defuse in easily enough. It will be the round going the way of Avangar. Match point. I think with the loss bonus kind of stacked up slightly in a bomb plant, the extra $800, they can get something together. But like you alluded to, it's going to be a pretty terrible buy considering this is the last chance for them to pull things back in their favor, really. 2 rifles, but one's a Galil, couple SMGs and a pistol. A lot of utility, to be fair, but we've seen them with better buys than this, and they still fall flat. Let's see what they've got, though. A fast, aggressive start towards the B-bomb site, although they will slowly start to move back towards middle, so just kind of playing things, perhaps trying to bait some rotations maybe, or burst out later on. We'll have to see. The AWP of James going to be that first port of call for Avangar. Can he hold things down? We'll soon find out. I do believe it's actually Buster, I do apologise, but all the same, going to be hard to get past.
Smoke does allow him into checkers though, which at least is the upside. Buster, of course, desperately trying to do what he can here, but he'll just be sprayed down by Mac 10 in the smoke. Fitch rotating in, we'll find the bomb carrier, but Crystal, once again, there to trade. The Molotov of Crizzen will eventually fizzle on out, means that he can try and do something, but it's the ruckus of the CZ's backside that caused him a problem, meaning Avangar find themselves in a 2v4 here, and I think they save. I think they just allow no chance to take this 13th.
Well, when the pressure is on, they certainly step up to the plate. Really well done from No Chance, as it was their last chance, like we've been saying. And they managed to pull things back in their favour. Only just, and still going to be difficult to see. I think the money here for Avangar is not ideal, though. So it's kind of vital that they save these last two weapons to just give them a chance into the next round. And if it were me, I mean, I always kind of like to see teams play things safe. I would kind of eco around these saved weapons, but then the economy is just a little bit all over the place. Buster with very little money. Crizzen could, buy an M4 or an AUG quite easily. So they could go balls to the wall with this one. Oh, I didn't know it. Keykurt's got actually quite a lot of money in the bank there. So they can put together a buy here that wouldn't actually be all that bad. But if they lose this one, then there is a heavy possibility of overtime to come through.
Perhaps a little wake-up call, though, for Avangar here. After dropping that previous round, just a reality check that, hey, you're on 15. You just need one more now to cross the line here and take this one 2-0. No chance once more looking for this B play. Makaleli blind for a moment there, but he'll just be fiddling around over on the A site away from his entire team, pretty much, I think. I won't tell a lie, he actually is with the core group towards B with the AWP in his back pocket. The nade to go over. That won't do anything at all. It'll be Nuki rotating him from mid, who was over lurking in the shadows towards that squeaky door on A. 50 seconds now got to come on down. Crizzen is in checkers. They'll be in a position here to battle if the push comes through. He's going to spot that AWP of Makaleli as well, which is great information. Surprised we've yet to see any real major rotation of Avangar. They're still keeping two players up on towards A, both towards car, obviously. They are fast rotates, but a lot of utilities being expended towards B. You'd think they'd know it is going to be this B hit now. See the push come through. Frozen will find Crizzen. He's got no support at all, so naturally will fall without a trade. Back turn, though, means that Buster can slip out and find one, but once again will then be immediately taken down. No chance. They might have find themselves a crack in Avangar, because it seems to be much of the same hit. A little bit of damage going to be done, but you can already see them pulling away from this, falling back. May well just be contemplating saving. Clearly trying to fight this one, but I think they already know what they really need to do here.
Well, towards the end of this game, we are going to go the full 30 and no chance. Certainly pulling things, back in their favour, back into contention. It's very hard to call towards the end here. It's not like they've crazily dominated these rounds. They just kind of get the openings, and then, there's a chance that Avangar could steal it away on the retake. They just do not fancy their chances and going for the very, very safe play in a lot of these rounds to just save what they can. And once again, it is kind of the smart play as opposed to the risky play. It will allow them to buy up quite easily into this final round of regulation. But obviously the question remains, will it be overtime? Will it be a heartbreaking loss for no chance to stomach? As again, it's kind of taken them a fair amount of time to get off the ground in this game. Started off kind of well for them, in that first half, pretty decent 10-5, but coming into the second half, their T-side has left us wanting. And again, I thought their T-sides were pretty good from what I've seen, so maybe just consistency all around is a huge issue for No Chance in this lineup. Early on in their lifetime, they kind of disappointed with some of the results. Then they started to look good, and now again, it's kind of fallen back by the wayside. James going to find Frozen early on. Molotov goes in, burns Radofaction down to 18 HP. That is not a good start. They've lost a man. They've almost lost a second. So a heavy advantage for Avangar going into what looks like an A hit, as they are going to commit to it on the T side of things, moving their way through. Kika on the edge of the smoke here. Will find Radofaction. Not quite anything else. Jamin on the site also falls. Makaleli actually brings it back into an advantage, but double spray down from Crizzen saved things for the CT side right here. The bomb going to be dropped. It's a 1 versus 1 for Makaleli as he swaps across to the AK, the more uncomfortable weapon for him. Buster on that AWP. Going to have to find this shot quickly. Cannot afford to miss, as that AK will rip him apart. Makaleli gets the bomb down into a decent post plant. There is a kit available for Buster, but certainly easier said than done at this point. He has very little information to work with. Slowly but surely going to move his way in towards that site, trying to check all the angles. Did he spot the shadow? I think Makalele's shadow is definitely showing there at the side of quad. It seems he's not going to notice. The tap comes onto the bomb, and he will eventually take down Makalele. Cannot win out the 1v1. 16-14 in the end, and a 2-0 overall for Avangard.
It's like some legendary Counter-Strike there, isn't it? See Makalele battle out on a tooth or nail final 1v1 to decide whether overtime will come through, but unfortunately it will not be Makalele to claim victory today. Like you say, Avangard win out 2-0 in this series, Kazakhstan versus Europe. Another match of the Lootbet CS Cup. Of course, folks, we've got another best of three, many best of threes, in fact, coming to you today. Now, we are going to work on resolving, hopefully, the final technical issue of the night, which is the sound. So we are going to take a very short break and get back with you soon. Well, the next best of three of the day in just a few moments' time. Folks, do not go anywhere. This has been the Lootbet Cup.
Lootbet. Made for live betting.